After a 2-week hiatus, we are back in action. We're talking about some wide receivers and other Vikings news. Let's talk about it. Happy Monday, everybody out there in Vikings land. Thank you guys so much for being patient with us, a little 2-week hiatus, but we are back on this beautiful Monday evening. Hope everyone had a great couple weeks and a great weekend. Jamie, I know you were up in the great Northland for this past week, enjoying some family time and a wedding and some drinks. It sounds like.
Yeah.
How was your trip? How did everything go? Looks like you made it back safely and in time to talk some Vikings.
Yeah. Man, it went pretty good. We brought up I told you before this, but my kid JJ, brought him up there, meet most of my family that's up there and other friends that he hasn't able to meet left because we don't live by anybody. But all that went good. Flights, everything went really well. He slept most of it. No crazy crying fits or anything on the plane, which I'm sure is what everybody would be worried about. So that was good. But no, it was just cool going out there to kind of, it's always good to go see familiar people in your hometown, I guess. I like Duluth. Obviously, I left there for a reason, but it's always nice to go somewhere where you don't need to use a GPS or anything like that. And then, of course, just catch up with everybody. And yeah, overall, pretty good. But
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to kind of come back and talk some Viking stuff because there was some big things that's kind of happened during this past week that we were gone, and some interesting things, as you can see, and we're going to get into it. We're going to start with the receiver spotlight, though, going through our receiver depth chart, giving our opinions on what that looks like, probably what we think, predicting what we think it's going to look like by the time the season starts. Specifically, probably wide receiver 3 is the only thing in that area that I guess isn't confirmed at this point. Something that it'll be interesting to watch in training camp, if not like one of the most underrated things to keep an eye on going into training camp. So we'll do that. We haven't been on here to be able to talk about the Kwesi extension yet, so we got to do some of that. JJ McCarthy, you always got to talk about JJ McCarthy because every single day, whether it's just there's just new hype around him and things like that. And then, of course, the Packers lose probably their best cornerback, but like everyone knows, Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson's son, Jair Alexander, and the idea of him potentially coming to the Minnesota Vikings. So we'll tap on that too. And then a giveaway as we usually do. But before moving on, let's do some shout outs. We had Gary, our guy, in the building. Skol, Skol mates, let's go. And the hashtag Skol, of course, everybody, another show, another rookie card giveaway. So get those hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Keeping on rolling here, though. We got Nick in the building. What's going on, Nick? What up, Gary? Skol, let's go. Idea must be the first. Oh, what is it? What is it? Yeah, I don't know what that. I was looking at that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know what the crowns
on
are.
It says like community leaderboard, and you get like experience points for comments. Maybe
you guys.
I don't know.
All I know is that if this is like an experience thing, I'm probably going to make some special giveaway. This is a new thing, some special giveaways or something for whoever gets the most credits. I don't know. I haven't made the times yet because I just found out about this. But at some point, whoever has the most credits is going to win something officially. So that's what's going to happen. So keep on bringing the messages in here. All right. I got my guy Adam in the building. What's going on, my dude? Jen, I see you. What's going on, Jen? Welcome in. Skol for Life Barber. What's going on, my guy? Who else we got in here? Who else? Bob Swedes in the building. Oop, missed
Kind of neat.
What's that?
Kinetic. Each person gets points for interacting and shows top. Okay. So put those comments in.
Does it show the top 3 for each stream or like overall? Or is it by the end of the stream?
I don't know. It looks like it's per stream, but I guess it's the first stream we've done it.
First stream we've done. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give this giveaway just for the hell of it. This giveaway goes to
No,
whoever
wait,
gets
wait,
number
wait,
one.
wait. You're gonna get people who just are gonna spam the same message over and over again. So we got to add some rules to. We got to think
All
about it
right.
for another
Let's
week. We
sit
got to add
on
some
this
rules
one.
to
We're
it.
gonna do giveaways normal, and then we'll circle back
We got to add
see
some
who figure
rules
this
because we
stuff
can't
out.
be having people just like JJ hashtag Skol spam like he used to do. We can't have that. Can't have that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, Jamie K's house, baby. Yeah, like I said, he's doing great. He's actually, so it's kind of interesting. Obviously, it's my first kid, but he was basically just like a sack of potatoes for like the first 2.5 months of his life, and then all of a sudden, like within like a 2-week period, all of a sudden he's gained a little personality and smiling and all that kind of stuff. So definitely exciting to see that, because it feels like a kind of like a one-sided relationship for a while, and then now you're kind of getting a little give back, I guess, that I feel like I deserve. So I like that. That's nice. Speaking of people I saw in Minnesota, my cousin here, Berserk. What's going on, dude? And by the way, what up, Kinetic? What up? What up? Who else we got in here? Yo, Vikings fans, loving having you back home for a bit. Oh yeah, there he goes. Let's go. Let's go. Who else we got in here? We got the hashtag skulls rolling in. We got Norris in the building. What's going on, my dude? Steve, what's going on, Steve? That year's gone. It's been nothing but a freaking head case. We saved 17.1 million. Yeah, fair. But I like there's a I don't know, he's a Packer YouTuber or podcaster YouTuber, and I know he's on Bleacher. He's Packers Bleacher Report guy, and he messaged something that he'll bet any money that wherever Dreer goes, he'll play all 17 games. And that's exactly what's probably gonna happen.
For sure.
Yeah, let's see. Did I get everybody? I think I did. Again, everybody, thanks for being in here. Got some stuff to talk about. Like I said, wide receivers. We're gonna dive into that pretty quick here. Casey, do you have anything else? How's everything going over there? I mean, obviously, you had some stories for me as well that were pretty interesting, actually. But
those are stories for another stream. Yeah, I mean, kind of business as usual on my end. You know, just being here, living life.
It's been nice up there, summertime, so that's always good.
Yeah, it's been rained a lot. It's been a very rainy early summer portion so far, but
I know when we were up there it was raining, and then the smoke thing is kind of annoying.
Yeah, so, Canada, like, get your fires under control up there. Yeah. We'll be fine.
I know that's one disappointment going up to Duluth, and it's pretty much just gray skies from smoke the whole time.
Yeah,
so absolutely. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Sounds good, brother.
But yeah, other than that,
the relation sounds like me and my ex-marriage. Oh, dang.
Zing.
Damn. Hey, what's going on, Darren? Packer fans are glad that he's gone. I read that he's a locker room cancer. Justin Jefferson will shape him up.
That whole like end of the season for him was so weird. How like he was healthy enough to practice, but they never play. It was just a mess. The dude's weird.
Yeah, that, obviously we'll get into that specifically in a little bit here.
Yeah,
but let's start with the opposite side of the ball.
The reason he didn't want to be in Green Bay anymore, and that is our wide receiver depth chart.
Yeah, playing Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison twice a year. We all really know why Drew Alexander didn't want to be a Packer, and it's because he doesn't want to face these guys twice a year. And that's why I would not be surprised if he'd rather have them on his side. But we'll see if the Vikings would even entertain that. But we'll talk about that again later. Let's bring up the wide receiver depth chart, and we'll kind of just roll through that.
Yep. But of course, at the top, wide receiver one, not just on the Vikings, but in the entire NFL, and that is Justin Jefferson, fresh. The first season off of his new contract, 103 catches, 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns. In a season where, especially for fantasy football purposes, a lot of people said fade Justin Jefferson because he's going to show he's not quarterback proof. And if there's anything that gives me the most excitement about Justin Jefferson going into a season with JJ McCarthy, it's what he was able to do in the one season with Sam Darnold. Like those numbers, sure, they're not top numbers in his career, but that's a damn good season. 100 plus catches, 1,500 yards, and 10 scores. I mean,
what up?
And everyone wants to talk about what Jamar Chase did last year. Yeah, but when you get to play a bunch of games with Joe Burrow, that's going to happen. You know, Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson having to come in, build that connection, and still putting up a season like that. I mean, Justin Jefferson just keeps proving he can do it. Doesn't matter who's throwing him the football. So I think, and you know, with JJ McCarthy, I think he is going to be that security blanket that JJ needs. And I'm telling you, man, I don't think Jefferson's gonna have I don't think he's gonna have a step back this year. I think McCarthy's gonna be able to find him enough to have him have another similar-ish season. I mean, are we, is it for sure gonna be 100 catches, 1,500 yards? Maybe not, but it's gonna be damn good because that's what Justin Jefferson does. He just does good things when he's on the football field.
Yeah. Oh, and Steve, there was Alexander did get JJ like one game. There's like one game that he did get him, but that's it. But I to be honest though, to be real though, and I know we're circling out of this again real quick. Alexander's a really good cornerback. He is one of the better cornerbacks in the league. I would say, I used to say like maybe top 20, but to be honest, he might be top 5. And I think that's going to actually kill the Green Bay Packers. And they're letting go their one good cornerback on that team. And now they're just going to be, every team in this division is going to be able to eat against that secondary. Justin Jefferson, obviously Jordan Addison. It's going to make things so much easier. So much easier. Yeah. So that's one thing is like Alexander was good. He was the best cornerback on that team, and now they don't have anyone good. They got a safety who's all right, I guess. But anyways, back to Justin Jefferson. Like you said, obviously we've said this over and over again. If there's one player since we started our podcast that has been talked about by far the most by us, if someone recorded whose name has been said the most on our podcast or most Viking podcasts, I'm sure it's Justin Jefferson, because he just always is just so good. And like you said, people said that he can't play with the other quarterbacks and stuff, and to have Sam Darnold come here and him have still a great season, just proved everybody wrong and shows why he is the best wide receiver in the NFL and why even the videos coming out of him, like I think he's with like at some camp with some kids and stuff, and they keep getting snippets of him talking and stuff, and it just shows why Justin Jefferson is so special, because it's just the mental, the aura, it's just not his skill set, and then right. Man, just an absolute stud. And obviously JJ McCarthy has you can't ask for a better wide receiver to play with in the NFL, and even Tom Brady picked him as the number one wide receiver he'd like to play with.
Right. Absolutely. So this wide receiver core is in safe hands for the next at least 4 seasons under JJ McCarthy. Moving on, wide receiver 2, a very controversial figure apparently in Vikings land, and that is Jordan Addison. Look, yes, whenever Vikings fans want to talk about Jordan Addison, they're going to jump to the off the field stuff. Oh, the going 100 and whatever in his car, lying about going to see his dog, or the drunk driving incident last year, which a lot of people really, and I get it, drunk driving is never smart, don't do it. But I mean, a lot of people are judging him like it's one of the worst things he ever could have done, that he killed somebody. It's like, I mean, he's 23 years old. I mean, it's something he's going to learn from. I think he realizes now he is on pretty thin ice with all this stuff. But when you look at his first 2 seasons, I mean, yes, he hasn't eclipsed 1,000 yards yet. But I think he had like 900 and 950 his first season with double-digit scores, and then
20 touchdowns.
Then 875 this year with 9 touchdowns. And that's missing.
Oh, I thought he had 9 this year or 10?
He had 9 this year. They had 1 rushing touchdown. But that was missing some games with that ankle injury, and of course being slowed down to start the season with the ankle injury and not being able to get that connection with Sam Darnold and all of that. Still doing what he does out there, 63 catches. Just the way he's able to get open, the way he's able to make those big time contested catches, like in that Chicago game when we were on the road. Just the dude is just so talented. And if he can just put the head back on straight, which I really think that he's going to do that this year. I mean, he was a first round pick for a reason. And the guy is just so damn good when he's on the field and when he's ready to rock. It's just, I don't know, man. This is going to be his first 1,000-yard season. I have a good feeling about that.
Yeah, even if he does miss some games here, and obviously I don't know how all of that's going to roll out. Yeah. So we'll find out when his court date is. But even with that happening, I could see him still hitting that 1,000 yards. And like you said, obviously everything he did was totally stupid, especially the second one. But I mean, in the NFL, there is players who have done way worse things, and they are still on the field playing. And I'm sure people talk shit a little bit, but Addison hasn't really done anything where I'm like, he's just an automatic problem. Like even outside of those two, he's not like the head case as far as like you're never hearing anything. You haven't heard a single thing about Jordan Addison other than, well, he was working out with Stephon Diggs, and then now, so I suppose now that might be a little bit of something. But other than that, like he made these two big mistakes. Yes, well, one significantly bigger than the other one. And now, and you're not hearing anything other than that. So I don't know. He made a bad choice. Luckily, nothing, detrimental came from it. So I think he's going to be okay. Hopefully that suspension doesn't hold up. It'd be nice to get him on the field. I think anybody who watches us knows how I feel about Jordan Addison, how I always felt about Jordan Addison. And then to this day, I think he's a lot better than most. I think he's way better than what most people think, but even Viking fans, because there's nothing in my mind telling me that we should trade Jordan Addison after 2 years in the NFL. Like the idea of trading a guy you picked in the first round after 2 years because you feel like, because you're going to have to pay him eventually, feels so dumb to me. Because which teams are like drafting players, letting them get good and trading them because they're worried about paying them in 3 years. And then just hoping you get another good player out of that happening, that whole situation. So I don't like that at all. I don't get why you want to do that, but a lot of it happens because I don't think people realize how good Jordan Addison really is. And I think we're just gonna continue to see the growth out of him and continue to see that. So I'm super excited. Obviously, I mean, we all know Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, the best 1-2 punch in the NFL. And in my opinion, and probably should be everyone else's opinion. So I'm excited for it. It.
Yeah, absolutely. So wide receiver 1 and 2, absolutely locked down, especially going into this with JJ McCarthy. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better 1-2 punch at wide receiver than Jefferson and Addison. Two guys that can do just about everything.
Smash that like button. Giving
absolutely.
Stuff away,
We're at 15
another show
here on
another
YouTube,
giveaway. Get those hashtags goals in the comments. Like the video and subscribe if you haven't already for your chance to win one of these cards at the end of the show. Sorry, Casey, what's up?
That was it. Just 15 people in, 10 likes. So if that's one of you that hasn't hit like yet,
definitely do it.
Free.
Do it. So this is the big one here, and I'll pass it to you right away here, and we can kind of jump into all three of these players. Just hit on all three of these players at the same time, and then put them in order. Wide receiver 3, 4, and 5 afterwards. But this is going to be you got Jalen Nailor, Rondale Moore, Ty Felton, the three that we feel like would be in some sort of competition to be wide receiver 3, with Jalen Nailor kind of going into training camp as a wide receiver 3. But I don't think he just has a straight path to it. I think he could be stepped over on.
Did you see some of the videos of him, by the way? Like, he looks like he's put on a ton of muscle. Like,
and there could be
the number one looks good on him. The number one looks really good on him.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I know we've talked about this before, and I've mentioned this before, where Jalen Nailor just kind of feels like that guy that you just have on there. So a guy like Ty Felton, who you drafted in the 3rd round, could like jump over him, like almost like a placement. But Jalen Nailor, but there's always that chance that Jalen Nailor does, because I think Jalen Nailor had an up and down season last year. I would like an upgrade at wide receiver 3, unless he was to make a leap forward. And maybe he does. So that's definitely a possibility. But I'll circle back to that. I'll let you jump into all of that.
I mean, with Nailor, I mean, he is the incumbent. He's the guy that's going to come into training camp with that wide receiver 3 spot locked down. That's where he's going to start at least. I mean, coming off a season where he did have 28 catches, 414 yards, and 6 touchdowns as wide receiver 3. And at times wide receiver 2 when Jordan Addison was down. But like, you're right. Like, he started off the season hot. I think he had didn't he have 4 touchdowns in the first 5 weeks or something like that,
something like that. I know he had 3 in the first 3 weeks. Obviously, Jordan Addison wasn't playing in a couple of those, but
let's see. He had 3 touchdowns his first 3 weeks. Started off the season hot, cooled off in the middle. I think he came back with a couple nice games at the end of the year. But again, and his wide receiver 3, they're not always going to be you're a wide receiver 3 for a reason. But I mean, you would like to see a little bit more consistency and a little bit more difference making out of that spot. I mean, he could have stepped in and been that downfield threat that we needed when Addison came back, and he just didn't quite show it at times when he was at wide receiver 3. yeah, I mean, it does get interesting. I mean, there's a reason that they drafted Ty Felton, and it's because, he can come in, he can start on special teams, and eventually kind of work his way into that wide receiver 3 role and see if he can overtake a guy like Jalen Naylor. Then you have Rondale Moore, who's kind of a wild card. I mean, he's coming in off the ACL tear. It's probably going to take him a little bit of time to get back up to speed when training camp kicks in. But we've seen what this guy can do. He did it against us a couple times. Like he's a downfield burner, good hands, can make things happen after the catch. So this is kind of where it gets interesting. I mean, I'm looking more Naylor and Ty Felton, but like I said, Moore is the absolute wild card in this. Like I would not be surprised if he comes in and makes a lot of noise on this Kevin O'Connell led offense, who we know loves to throw the football around a little bit. So this is one to watch going into training camp. I mean, Jalen Naylor has kind of been that training camp superstar the last couple of years. Like he's really stepped up. But I mean, and look, I know Alec Lewis said that they love Jalen Naylor, obviously, but he is going into a contract year, especially if down the road you got to pay Jordan Addison. This might be one of those things where Ty Felton was the guy. Like no matter how Jalen Naylor plays this year, he might be going elsewhere next year, and Ty Felton steps into that spot. So if you are looking at Jalen Naylor, this is going to be that year where he's going to want to play his best football, because he's going to want other teams looking at him, and we've seen he has that talent level. It just got to be a little bit more consistent. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles this offseason, this offseason and going into the regular season. So I don't know. We could be in for a huge season from Jalen Naylor, but I do think that Ty Felton will prove that he can step into that role as well.
Yeah, which would be great. I do want to shout out Sarah. What's going on, Sarah? Thank you so much. 499. How's baby JJ? I was talking about him earlier, but he's doing really good. He's gained. I was talking about how he's gained a personality, and he's starting to smile, and he's starting to reciprocate the love that I give him, which I needed, because he felt like a very selfish baby. Very selfish baby. He wanted all the love and everything and wasn't given nothing. So no, overall it's doing great. We just came back from Minnesota. He was able to meet a lot of my family and stuff. Was really good on an airplane. So overall, great job. Or just really, really great job from him. Still the future quarterback of the Vikings. Again, I keep calling him my QB1. And then the joke is he's going to end up being like 5'6", and then I told him his whole life that he's QB1, and then he finds out that he can't be.
Or you have a second kid, it's a boy, and he's like 6'2", and you're like, you can be his coach.
Yeah, you can be his coach. Yeah, that's right. Mentor. I mean, that's what seems to happen. You see that actually a lot, like Justin Jefferson's older brothers and stuff. Well, he was a quarterback, but then Justin Jefferson ends up being greatest wide receiver in the NFL. Well, this year or in his generation. But yeah, no, overall going great over there. Appreciate you, Sarah. But yeah, we got Vocal Viking in the building. What's going on, my guy? What's up? Anyway, so Jalen, did you get a chance to hit on Rondale Moore and Ty Felton a little bit? Okay. Yep. So jumping into this, I'm kind of with you. Where I would say prior to those pictures of Jalen Naylor, I'm kind of, and I would still say I want to see him jump up. I kind of look at Jalen Naylor as more of the placeholder than the guy that you want. Like if I'm gonna draft a guy like Ty Felton in the 3rd round, and as a fan, I would like Ty Felton to beat out Jalen Naylor, because Jalen Naylor had kind of an up and down season last year, in my opinion. Nick kind of talked about how he dropped some balls, and he definitely did. And I did want to talk about Watson, because I don't care how big, fast Christian Watson gets, that dude is always going to have stone hands. So that doesn't matter. You can be the biggest, fastest person in the world, but if you can't catch, then who cares? And that's Christian Watson.
Anyway, I mean, there's a reason they drafted Matthew Golden, who has shorter, yes, but has kind of the same skill set. There's a reason that they made that draft pick.
Christian Watson's on his way. I'm not scared of him at all. But no, back to that. So you would draft Ty Felton third round. You would like to, you hope that Ty Felton lives up to that billing that Kwesi in the front obviously sees in Ty Felton. If you pick him in the 3rd round, you didn't pick him to hopefully be a wide receiver 3 someday or anything like that. You're hoping, if you pick a guy in the 3rd round, you're hoping that he could turn into a wide receiver 2 at the very least, you'd think, right? There's people who draft wide receivers. Like, it's not crazy for a wide receiver 3 or a wide receiver to get drafted in the 3rd round and be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. So that's why I'm like, if you get Ty Felton, like you kind of hope he lives up to that. Maybe he might be a little bit raw or whatever. But you do kind of hope like you see Ty Felton make that jump, or he just is that talented or brings that much to the table, where he does beat out Jalen Naylor, who has been here for a while. But again, after seeing those pictures of Jalen Naylor looking bigger, like you said, that number 1 is looking pretty nice on him. Maybe he does just take that big step as himself. I know he's a guy that we always did like. He just hasn't really done enough for me to be like that's his spot no matter what. And Rondale Moore, up to this point, you could say Rondale Moore has shown, he's been injured a lot, but he has shown more than Jalen Naylor ever has so far in his career with the Cardinals. And he had one stretch before his injuries that was really good, and he was getting a lot of hype around him and things like that. And his biggest thing is just his injury. Obviously, I think I don't know if he actually practiced, but I know he was on the field and stuff. I know the Vikings had a picture of him walking out with his helmet and things. So I never really looked into it to see if he actually is practicing, because it sounded like he might not until training camp, or even if training camp. But I want him to be ready to go. I want a legit three man battle here. The cool thing is they kind of bring different things to the table. I would say Ty Felton and Rondale Moore a little bit closer, because Ty Felton, you're going to get screens. Yeah, he's just so fast with the ball in his hands. Where Rondale Moore, I guess you would probably say, is even a little bit more gadgety than Ty Felton. Ty Felton's someone that he's bigger. You're hoping he can be a guy that can kind of spread the field a little bit like a Jalen Naylor. You could say Ty Felton's kind of like Jalen Naylor and Rondale Moore, like combination, like a hybrid of both those two. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I do like having a guy like Ty Felton and Rondale Moore that brings something that me and you kind of thought that this offense could use, is just some sort of gadget type of player to some extent. And these two could actually be really good in that role. So I'm excited to see that. But if I was going to say right now, if my guess going into the season, I think ultimately Jalen Naylor does take the wide receiver 3 job. I like a lot. I like Ty Felton's speed and everything like that. I didn't see enough from my perspective to feel like he's like going to come in and be what even the Vikings think it did kind of feel like a stretch of a pick. Just because there's a lot of drop. I think he had like 8 drop passes or something like that. So we'll see. I hope I'm wrong on him. And that's the reason why I would love to see Ty Felton live up to the 3rd round pick and kind of hop and just become that wide receiver 3 going into the season. It's probably my hope, but I do think Jalen Naylor ultimately is the guy to do it.
Yeah. And I think like the hope is that Ty Felton shows he can be that guy, which only pushes Naylor more. And like I mentioned in my pieces, especially with Naylor going into a contract year as well, where he wants to impress some. If he doesn't get a contract here, he has to impress some other teams and try to build a rapport and get a contract somewhere else. So I think he's going to be playing his best ball, and that should only push everybody else in this wide receiver group to be better.
Wait, I want to see this, Adam. What
is that legit?
Yeah, what's your book? What's your book? Where can we get it? Well, give us all the details. Just give us all the details. We want to know. Jamie's scared of Watson. I saw him Tim Hortons having tea and saw him at Tim. That's crazy.
Gary's got it right here.
Hire your first. It's on out. Hire yourself. It's called hire yourself first. So because not
for that.
Hire yourself first. Not you're answering Bob.
Yes,
I'm assuming.
Yes, he was.
Okay, let me hold on a second. Yeah, if you want to jump into some of these,
because after that, it's just kind of a cluster F of just some other receivers. Tim Jones coming over from Jacksonville, Thayer Thomas, Lucky Jackson, Deshaun Jones have all been here, and then Silas Bolden from Texas, a guy who could be a really great special teamer. Be interesting to see how he gets used here. Then Miles Price and Robert Lewis, a bunch of guys that are going to be fighting for roster depth, and a bunch of guys that could contribute on special teams as well. So. Look, yeah. So, like outside, like the really interesting part, it's those first 5 wide receivers are going to be the really interesting ones, and it'll be interesting to see how many receivers the Vikings decide to keep this year. And I think what they do, how many did they keep last year? Do you remember? Was it 6?
Who's that again?
The Vikings for wide receivers, was it?
Oh, I don't remember. It's probably 6.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how many they decide to keep, and that also does depend on the Rondale Moore injury and how he recovers from that.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna grab. Here's the Amazon link. I'm gonna buy one of these books. 100%. You just.
He will send you signed copies.
I will buy. I'm buying it. First off, I have
No,
to
get it
buy it,
signed.
but I'll get it signed. I'll get it signed, but I'm buying it and then I'm getting it signed 100%. Fucking
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Love to see it, Adam. That's fucking sick. I did not know you were doing that.
Writing books,
Anyways,
making websites.
yeah, what the fuck?
Adam's on it. Adam's on it.
You're hiring yourself, bro. Two tones. What with the 199? Appreciate you, bro. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Thanks, man.
No, I
Appreciate it.
have to buy it. I have to support. You support us. You support us. There's so many people that
absolutely.
it's okay to support us, but I want to support you. I know you'll send me one, but I'll throw you. I need to at least pay you something. We'll talk. We'll talk.
We'll buy you like 6 beers each at Skullfest.
Yeah. I have
and you don't even have to drink one out of a shoe this time. So you can just drink them all right out of the glass.
I mean, it depends if you're a Viking fan or not. You might still have to do that.
Yeah, that is true.
Anyways, going through these wide receivers, like Casey said, just a bunch of guys. Jashawn Jones, one that we gave the vet or maximum for an undrafted free agent, had a lot of high hopes. Didn't really show up in preseason. Hoping maybe, I mean, he's still on the team. Maybe we get a chance at seeing him do that. Thayer Thomas, a guy that a lot of fans I kind of like, but he's probably never going to be anything too much. Tim Jones who's right now considered the 6th wide receiver, has a little bit of playing time with the Jaguars. And then Silas Bolden, I know he's kind of like the wide receiver that was mostly being talked about coming from this undrafted free agents. Shot for sure. So yeah, I mean, obviously these other guys will be interesting to see what happens. It'd be cool if one of these guys can really show up, guys like Silas Bolden or Jashawn Jones. But overall, I mean, we got to feel fantastic about what this wide receiver room looks like. I do feel last year, me and you weren't convinced on having just Jalen Naylor and Brandon Powell as the 2 guys competing for wide receiver 3. We felt like they needed to bring another guy. I do feel like Jalen Naylor did take a step last season, and I do think he could take another one. So I do feel a little bit better about him going in as a wide receiver 3, but I do like having Rondale Moore and Ty Felton, the guy you drafted in the 3rd round, as other possibilities for there. I like the competition for the wide receiver 3 spot going in, and I feel confident that going into the season, we're just going to be better when it comes to the wide receiver. I mean, honestly, wide receiver 3 through 5. I wouldn't be surprised if Rondale Moore is healthy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of all those 3 on the field more often than you usually do when it comes to like a wide receiver 5 or something. Yeah, like that, just because they can bring some different things to the table.
I think we're going to see a lot of Ty Felton splashing on special teams early and often. I really do. I think he's going to make a name for himself in that portion of the field for sure, which will only help you get your way onto the actual playing field. So.
Hey, what up, Mark?
What's going on, Mark?
Yeah, 100%. Anyways, let's keep on rolling here because we have to talk about a guy. So obviously that's wide receiver spotlights. Best in the NFL. I mean, you probably could have started and ended there. We had to talk about him a little bit though. But let's go into some other stuff here. And we have to talk about our guy, Kwesi, a guy that we were rooting for since he's came in. I mean, we stood strong, sticking with him through his process, through his whole plan, and like believing in his plan and understanding what he was doing, whether it was moving on from Kirk Cousins, whether it was moving on from Sam Darnold, whether it was moving from Daniel Jones, whether it was not signing Aaron Rodgers, which is really funny because it seems like news that actually this has like been breaking news this last week that the Vikings look at the next 3 years as their Super Bowl window. And that is something that a lot of Viking fans, including us, have seen that's what was happening right now, which is obvious because you're getting JJ McCarthy on a rookie contract, building around a rookie on a rookie contract. And of course, that kind of gives us 3 years before we have to pick up the 5th year option on that. So it kind of gives us that window for JJ McCarthy before, if hopefully JJ McCarthy is so good that we do end up having to pay him after that. But then at that point, you're playing with you're probably kicking cans down the road, and you can extend that window, but you're probably sacrificing your future. So that's why this next 3 years is a big deal. And Kwesi has done, I mean, and that's another thing too, is everyone, when he did get his extension, people still say like, I'm not sure about how he drafts still. I'm not confident in it. But I'm like, the whole purpose of being a GM in the NFL is to build a Super Bowl team, is to build the best team that you possibly can in the NFL. And Kwesi, in my opinion, has done that, with us having even a better shot to make our team better in the next couple years. So to me, I'm like, I don't care how you do it. You don't have to. I don't care if you're good at drafting or not. I would like you to be, but it doesn't matter. Who cares how you get there? But as long as you end up with a team that is good, then that's all that really matters. I'm not going to be like, oh, you made a really good team, but your drafting sucks. Like, that makes literally no sense at all.
Yeah. If he win,
and that's
if
how I
we
feel.
win a
So I'm
Super
really
Bowl,
happy.
if we win a Super Bowl and all he has is like in like his 5 years of drafting is like 4 good first round picks, I do not care. All I want to do is have a GM that is building the team towards winning a Super Bowl. And you could say every year he's done a better and better job of that. And yes, the drafting does need to get better, sure, but the free agency is great. And if JJ McCarthy hits, nothing else matters. Like, finding your franchise quarterback in the draft,
Right.
if you get that right, it does not matter what else you do, as long as you do got to win a Super Bowl and still keep making steps towards that. But I mean, and I truly think that we've said it before, they believe in JJ McCarthy, of course, but this Kwesi extension was the right move. Me and you have been saying it since the season ended. I know there's a bunch of people out there that don't believe it, whatever. So I scroll through Facebook from time to time, and I'm sorry if any of you guys are involved in any, like, heavily involved in any Vikings Facebook pages, but my God, people on there are just, there's a reason that they're still on Facebook, and that's how they're getting their Vikings intake of news. Get onto Twitter, get on Instagram, look it up yourself, get Bleacher Report, get some other apps. But these Vikings Facebook people are just absolutely wild, and all they do is just talk shit and bitch about each other on those sites all the time. It's just terrible. But a bunch of them on there just upset about, oh, bringing Kwesi back, it's a bad move. The guy doesn't draft. He gives up bad contracts. I mean, he's built with everything he came into with his team: aging roster, money concerns, changing your quarterback, having your future of the franchise get hurt, having to play Sam Darnold, teams that he has built and put together, all of that. And you've had 2 13+ win seasons, and one where Kirk Cousins went down, having arguably one of his best statistical seasons, in a year where you could have also made a run if it wasn't for having to throw Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullins out there all the time. Like, I just don't understand the Kwesi hate. I mean, if you don't like his drafting, sure, but overall, just not liking just having hate for Kwesi and just what he's been doing is just it's absolutely wild to me. And anytime someone talks about building the team, they're like, well, I mean, he had Kevin O'Connell to help him get the offense ready to go. He had Brian Flores making all the decisions on defense. He had Rob Brzezinski formulating the contracts. Like, they don't want to give credit to the guy who's actually sitting in that seat and having that job. They want to find any other reason they can to just shit on this guy and make it sound like he's not doing a good job with this team. And it just doesn't make sense to me. And extending O'Connell and getting your quarterback and then not extending Kwesi would just make no sense. And that's how you end up with a messy front office and a messy, kind of top down structure as it comes to culture and team building and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. There's the whole idea of not bringing him back, which is weird to me. I mean, ever since the O'Connell extension was signed, this seemed like a no-brainer. It was going to get done, and I'm happy it did. 4-year deal matches up with O'Connell's. I love it, man. I'm super happy for Kwesi to finally get his flowers here a little bit. Yeah, super pumped for this one. I mean, it was a long time coming. I'm glad they got it done.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. And just like you said, I just don't know what else you would want from your GM. I mean, you come in here, like you said, you have a quarterback that's been paid the highest at one point, the first player in NFL history to be fully guaranteed contract. Just all of that. You made the choices to let him ultimately walk. And then you have like people say he gives bad contracts, even though he literally got out of so many bad contracts and put us in a situation where we were able to go get guys to make this team better. But you ultimately went and got your franchise quarterback. Obviously, we still need to see if that happens, but you did go get one. You got to be happy for that. And you've really opened up like a legit, and I don't know one Viking fan who can sit there and be like, the next 3 years, you can say JJ McCarthy has this question mark, but you can't say like these next 3 years this Vikings team is as as uh as talented as just overall talent as we've really seen it. Since I've watched the Vikings, I've not seen a team that is this well rounded overall, especially on offense. Like on offense, there is nothing. There's not one little thing unless, yeah, there's literally nothing. Obviously, there's a
On
chance.
paper.
On paper. Obviously, Fry's come back from injury. You got a rookie left guard, all that kind of stuff. There, saw question mark, whatever. But on paper, but you can. But chances are, like, you're going to be really good no matter what. But on paper, I mean, you can't. It can't get much better than that. And then even on defense, it's almost as well rounded. Maybe it's not many star talent, but you still have guys like, and if you do go get like a guy like Jared Alexander, if you did go get a Jalen Ramsey or something like that, I guess you could even boost it up there. So if that happens, that'd be really crazy. But just overall, well-rounded, 14-win team, and your team got better. So I just don't like. I mean, what else do you want from a GM? I personally don't know. Two-Tone, my dude with the $4.99, my man.
No comment, just dropping $4.99.
Yeah. Hey, we appreciate you, dude. Can't wait to hang out at Skol Fest again, my man. Hell yeah. But yeah, no, obviously we're excited. I think he's done amazing with everything he's done. It's only been the drafting so far, which, like you said, if JJ McCarthy hits, no one else will really care. But I mean, if you hit JJ McCarthy, if Dallas Turner does break out this season, if we already have Jordan Addison is a hit already. And then if Donovan Jackson ends up working out and you get 4 studs at some of the most important positions in football, arguably the most, I mean, well, left tackle would be more, but guard, like offensive lineman, at a big hole of need, then nobody even though you're like hoping that Kwesi could have hit on other picks and late round picks and things like that, but you got to just be happy with that results from your first round picks. So hopefully that is the case. But again, like I said, I don't care how you get there. The fact that you were able to build the team the way it looks right now is impressive. Who cares how you get there? Obviously, if he drafts better, I guess we could even be more stacked, but I don't think there's not really many teams that's looking like ours. So
for sure. Yep.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I agree. 100%
Mafia, what up, my good dude? Man. Welcome in. But keep going.
And that's the thing. The goal of this offseason was on paper just to make sure that JJ McCarthy was your only question mark. And with a perfectly healthy roster, all otherwise, you have that feeling that if McCarthy's good, this team's going to be really, really good.
JG, yeah, we'll have 15 to 20 sacks each. Oh, I see it, 100%.
They got to share some with Dallas Turner though. Dallas Turner, who said it? Dallas Turner is going to have a good season this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie said it. Turner's going to have a breakout year. I agree. Sorry if you're reading that.
McCarthy he's not, but he's still a top 10 pick. It's not like, I don't know, you pick Jordan Love and you haven't seen anything from him, but you're not like just assuming. Like it feels like people want JJ McCarthy. They're giving him like the benefit of the doubt, unless you're a Viking fan. But you're not. You're the question mark given to JJ McCarthy isn't like he's gonna be all right. Yeah, jumping into JJ McCarthy, perfect timing. And that's another thing too. Is like you already know. Like I can already see his autograph with the smiley face in it and stuff like that. Like that's gonna hit. That's gonna hit hard. But that's the thing with JJ McCarthy is that, yeah, it's a question mark, but the people who give him a question mark, they're giving him the benefit of the doubt. This team's a 14-win team that just got better, and your JJ McCarthy question mark is an 8-win team or a 7-win team. That's crazy to me because I'm like, even if he's, I don't know, like he has to actually be bad. He'd have to be bad, but who's picking a guy at the 10th pick and just thinking he's going to be bad? I mean, everyone else, like Mike, like guys like Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, none of those guys would come into this situation and everybody thinks that the Vikings are gonna be bad. Like we could have took any of those players and felt pretty confident in what they would do with this squad that we have. So that's why I think JJ McCarthy is going to be very solid. I love you guys.
Whoa, Mafia with the
Hey, we love
1999.
you too,
Because I love you
bro.
guys. Love you too, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it,
Appreciate you
dude.
for the 1999 drop there. Can't wait to
Oh,
give my Will Field predictions. We got to get back into those, man, because he's gonna have a good season this year. I'm telling you,
yeah,
the
I
injuries
think
are
he
done.
bounces back. I
Gonna be
think he
just fine.
bounces back. I think he bounces back for sure.
Yeah.
I,
But
I,
I
I
assume when you got McCarthy on here, you're talking about that, but you're also talking about kind of what we saw from the mini camp videos.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, love that Justin Jefferson is showing up to these. I mean, heading in years past, but true leader wants to win. You got to get there. You got to get that rapport going with your young quarterback. Love the fact that he's there. But man, for the people that don't know about that McCarthy arm strength, he's rifling some missiles out there. In some of those highlight packages, man. The dude has an absolute cannon on him. And like a lot of those short throws, we're getting there quick. We know he has the downfield boom to his arm. Like those videos are really exciting. They're really excited to see.
Yeah, I want to answer this real quick. Question for Casey and Jimmy. How many TDs will JJ have now with Alexander gone? You're just saying like in general or against the Packers?
I mean, just in general, I think he could have another 10 to 12 touchdown season.
Extra 10 to 12. Yeah. I think he drops.
No, not extra 10 to 12.
No, extra.
20
that's
touchdowns.
That's how good you guys lost your best player on that entire team. Anyways, back to the camp, training camp, or mini camp thing or whatever. Mini camp starts this week, right? Mini camp starts this week.
Mandatory mini camp.
Mandatory
it was
mini
OTAs,
camp,
I guess, the last.
Yeah. OTAs, yeah. I mean, the dude's got an arm. I think when you're watching those highlights, obviously a lot of them slow motion and stuff, but you just see his arm. The big one though is just his spirals, man. There's something else. They're on a line. They're perfect. All those highlights are just absolutely perfect spirals. Obviously, just OTAs, whatever. But no, I love what we saw from JJ McCarthy just so far in OTAs, and it's just so fun just seeing all the hype around him. Obviously, we'll have to see what happens here. I got Adam matching Mafia, LOL. Hey, Adam, dude. Obviously, we appreciate you too, bro.
Hell yeah, man.
Not even a question. My author friend of mine, my published author friend, which is fucking awesome. But yeah, JJ McCarthy looking good. The hype is still real. I want to bring up the Cam, or is it Cam account, right? Or no, Case.
Cam.
That's
Cam.
That's Cam. Yeah, Cam.
It is Cam, yeah.
The Cam account, the Cam Vikings
troll.
Twitter account is hilarious. It's just fooled. It's so fun. Like, I don't even know how he fooled people with the whole, like, JJ McCarthy has 88% in OTAs with
42 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
2 interceptions. And
people are getting
highlight
mad.
Video.
Like, the old McCarthy, great. He's doing great things in training camp. Let's see him when the season starts. Like, calm, or in OTAs, like, calm down. He's kidding.
And he's wearing pads and a helmet or whatever. Like, he's obviously
Jalen Naylor. It's like, come on. Do you guys watch? Do you guys know what's going on? Like, come on, man.
No, it's funny. It's funny when people just get caught up like that. But then it's funny when you see like other media get pulled into it and things like that. But that's a breaking news though. Is JJ McCarthy impressing in OTAs, and that's how we are going to leave it. And so it's exciting. It'll be fun to watch him in mandatory mini camp, and man, training camp is just going to be something else this year. And just knowing JJ, obviously, I didn't even put this on here, but Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers, which is official. There's no doubt in my mind we were over Aaron Rodgers, but now there's not any questions. I did see, speaking of that too, I did watch Thor on, I forget his name. He was on Tucker.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I forget that ex-football player, NFL Network. I don't know if he's a network guy, but anyways, he's the one that mentioned the whole Daniel Jones situation, that we guaranteed Daniel Jones $14 million. So that obviously means that we're not 100% on JJ McCarthy. And then Thor thought differently. So Thor went on his show, and they were able to, which I guess is kind of a big deal. So that's cool for Thor, I think. I'm assuming. But Thor was able to go on and they had that discussion. Ross Tucker, thank you. I was thinking, what's the
Rick Ross?
Other Tucker.
Jacob Tucker?
No.
Justin Tucker?
Fox guy.
Fox. Oh, I think you're talking about the kicker.
News Fox. Fox News. can't think.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson. He was on Tucker Carlson.
He was. That'd be interesting. That'd be
really
interesting. Spot
That'd
to
be a left field. Anyways, no. So he was on there giving their explanations and stuff, which I do think ultimately Thor's right. The whole, I think what people don't really understand about when it comes to Daniel Jones in this situation, like regardless of how the Vikings feel about and how bullish they are on JJ McCarthy, I think from past experiences with everything that has happened to the Vikings as far as Josh Dobbs and Sam Bradford and just our organization as a whole, on top of having an analytic guy that is Kwesi and kind of hedging your bet no matter what. You've built this team for a 3-year Super Bowl window. The last thing you want to do is it to all fail because you have a single Jenga piece that is JJ McCarthy. I think it's smart to hedge your bet, even if it costs you 13, which 13 people act like 14 million guaranteed. That's like as low end as it gets for a starting quarterback.
Yeah, for a really good backup quarterback, which Daniel Jones. Look, say what you will about a starter. If he's your backup, you're doing pretty damn good having a Daniel Jones as your backup.
Exactly. So that's like 14 guaranteed for a quarterback isn't that much, is what I'm saying. Like he's not. That's like the low end of a guy that you bring in, and that's like the price for a bridge guy, which is fair. But in my opinion, I think that shows more that Kwesi in the front office is hedging their bet more than just like that. No matter what team you're on, your quarterback can get hurt, and you built this team, and we've had it happen before where we're having a good season, your starting quarterback goes down, and then you're fucked. And I do think this is a situation where, like, yeah, if JJ, like, it could literally just be like any quarterback can get hurt. So if JJ McCarthy gets injured and we end up getting Sam Howell, and obviously you're probably not feeling as confident with Daniel Jones in there, but you're still, in my opinion, you're still feeling better about a Sam Howell than what we had before. In my opinion, I still think it's better than Nick Mullins. It would feel more confident if you did have a Daniel Jones. But obviously we weren't going to pay him any more than we did.
Yeah. And also the other side of the argument too is the fact that Daniel Jones walking away for more money to go to a place he knew he was going to have a better shot to start. That tells you that he even saw behind the scenes here that they really believe in McCarthy, and I was going to come in and I wasn't going to have a fair shot to start. And number two, if they really were unconfident and they really wanted Daniel Jones back, they could have upped their offer as well to try to get him to come back. And none of those things happened.
Right.
So, I mean, like, I know the doubters are going to look at that side of it. Like, well, if they wanted Darnold back, they wanted Daniel Jones back. Obviously, they don't believe. It's like, yeah, but there's also the other factors as well that show they were fine letting these guys walk and rolling with McCarthy this year. So, I don't know. You can look at it both ways to try to formulate your arguments. But if you're a Vikings fan, I know we love to be like, oh, I don't want to get too excited, and I hope I'm wrong. But you got to be happy that this team seems to be comfortable with rolling with the guy they drafted number 10 overall in 2024.
And if you're literally like the idea of Daniel Jones on a $14 million fully guaranteed 1-year deal contract, if that's literally the only argument to say anything otherwise. Like ultimately letting him go, letting Sam Darnold go, and then letting Aaron Rodgers, who ends up signing for a $10 million deal with the Steelers, probably comes here for even less than that. I mean, it's more obvious than ever that JJ McCarthy has been the Vikings guy. And yeah, obviously he's going in as full quarterback. I mean, Justin Jefferson has called him his quarterback this whole time. I don't think there's any secrets other than, again, Kevin O'Connell that hasn't straight up just said he's the quarterback one of this team yet. But pretty much has, and Justin Jefferson, all the players have. So I'm super excited, which we're actually, and we're working on which we'll have to talk about after this, but we're working on a JJ McCarthy video as well. That should be coming out, hopefully, I don't know, sooner than later. But we're excited for that. It's going to be good times coming here. Good times are coming
for
here.
Sure. Then obviously, Jair Alexander touched on it already a little bit, just got cut from the Packers today. Had the really weird end of season kind of injury issue last year where it felt like he could have been healthy enough to play, but didn't play. And I know it was rumored all off season to this point that maybe there'd be a split coming here. I guess that does lead you to the question: would you want the Vikings to show any sort of interest? I know they had talked about the media had talked about Jalen Ramsey. It sounds like that's not going to happen. If I had to, I mean, look, Jair, it can be weird. You can't really understand what he's saying when he's talking in the locker room. He does have the injuries, but when he is healthy, he's a very, very good corner. I think he would come in here and probably be cornerback one right away. As much as I love Byron Murphy, he comes in with a little bit more proof to the pudding in his career that I think he would come in as QB1 or CB1. I'd probably take him over Jalen Ramsey due to age. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this goes for him. I don't think he's going to be out there long. I think he's going to get scooped up pretty quick. But I guess do you want the Vikings to show any interest first off?
I would say, I don't know. It's hard to believe. Like, we didn't really see any real interest with Jalen Ramsey yet.
Right.
I think they could. I think they could. Do I expect it to happen? I would say probably not. Like, if I was gonna bet if he ends up being a Viking, him or Jalen Ramsey, I would probably say no. I don't think it happens. Interest, hopefully. I think that's a guy that you have to call, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does, because it's just, I mean, it's a Packer. Like, and hopefully a disgruntled Packer, because whenever there's a disgruntled Packer, you know where they want to go, and it's always
Right
Minnesota.
here.
Even though we've been saying no this offseason to disgruntled Packers. But I do think so I would say, like, I doubt it happens. I hope we see some rumors, because I would like to see it happen. And I'm really surprised on the people who and maybe it's fair, but I'm a little surprised on people who don't like the idea of Jaire Alexander, or don't like the idea of Jalen Ramsey. I know Jalen Ramsey had like a drop off from last year. Jaire Alexander is injured, but Jalen Ramsey, like 30 years old. Yeah, it's getting old, but they're like, we as Vikings organization have done so well with aging cornerbacks. We had a really good year from Patrick Peterson after he had a down year when he was 30. Obviously Terrence Newman was around for a while. And we do good with these, like, and Stephon Gilmore's 34. So we're talking 4 years older than these guys. And I like, you bring one of those.
Alexander's only 28, I think.
And his is just the injury stuff.
So he just turned 28. Yeah.
If you can make that happen, I don't see why you don't. I gotta stick to this. I think it's this 3-year window thing. Like, give it your best shot in these next 3 years. And if you can get one of those guys, like, yeah, you're going to pay him, and people are going to be like, yeah, but you're spending money, Yeah. You only get these kind of opportunities. Like, we haven't got, I don't think we've ever seen, like, we're 3 years ahead and seeing this, like, obvious 3-year window in front of us. And the fact that we have that, like, take advantage as much as you can, and getting the guy like Alexander, who hopefully obviously has to stay healthy, I think is worth taking a shot on, to make that cornerback group as good as possible. Even if you feel confident in who we have back there, I personally, I think we'll be able to do more. What Flores has been able to do with cornerbacks up to this point, with, like, making our secondary better than it should be. I do feel good in that way, especially that you're going to have more defensive interior guys to kind of help put pressure on and things like that. So I feel confident, but I'm not super confident that we have an absolute bona fide number one cornerback on this team. I'm not extremely confident that we have two cornerback ones. It kind of feels like we have a lot of high-end cornerback twos that could be cornerback ones, and then some maybe guys that could be cornerback twos. We got a lot of really good depth that I really like. But if you bring a guy like Alexander in and he steps in as your cornerback one, now I'm like, you might have one of the best potential secondaries in the NFL. So I don't know. I'm taking, if I could do it. Yeah, that's right. J Twice. Yeah. So that's my kid's new nickname is J Twice. And he's future Vikings quarterback number one. Anyways, but yeah, so that's my thought on Jaire Alexander. I would take him. I would take Jalen Ramsey. I think Jalen, 30 years old, he had an offseason, whatever. I think he could have some more in the tank. We've been good with older quarterbacks or cornerbacks. So, yeah. Well, so what's your take? Would you take just Ramsey and Alexander? Like, would you want them?
If you can get them for a decent price, sure. I would take. It's tough. I mean, Ramsey has been more healthy. I mean, Alexander has missed a lot of games in his career. I'd probably take Jaire because of the age, and just what Flores could do with him. I mean, again, he is. I think he's only 5'10", I think. So he does kind of, he kind of is that same size as kind of a lot of the other corners that we have. But The guy's proved it consistently throughout his career. When he's healthy, he plays pretty damn good ball. So, yeah, I mean, I would take one if you could get him for the right price. Either or. I mean, if you could get Jair, I'd rather take that because he's a little younger. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, just the injury thing. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, just imagine though, like you hear that. I don't know. There'll be some Viking fans mad, of course, like there always is. But I'd just be like, how can you not just be like? I mean, at this point, the only thing questionable on this team at all is that anybody has is the secondary, which I feel pretty confident that I know Nick said it's pretty cheeks. Maybe from straight talent wise, but what Flores has been able to do with our secondary so far, I feel like we're in a better position with our secondary than last year. Plus you have interior. I think we're going to be just fine no matter what, but just that one little question mark on this team. And you bring in a guy like that and you're like, I don't know how everybody wouldn't look at the Vikings defenses. At that point, I think you can say the Vikings arguably have the best defense in the NFL. If you were to make that move.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Ellis Cheeks and
We'll see.
back there.
We'll see. But the longer these guys are out there, the cheaper they get, unless they want to hold out till training camp and see if there's an injury or something. So
yeah. So
we'll see.
We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. But overall, I mean, I would be surprised if we make the move. I don't know.
Yeah, I would
still have money.
I mean, they've kind of shown 2 years in a row until some injuries happen that they're comfortable. Yeah, it's a lot of young guys, but they're comfortable with them. So yeah, we'll see.
I'll take either for the right price. Obviously, you have to, and that's what people say is you have to trade for Ramsey. Where at this point you could just get Alexander, and who knows? Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing I'd be banking on is just like the bad blood players coming from the Packers. They just love to come to the Vikings, and it's always fun. I love that. Getting someone like him would be so funny. We'd be like probably the one player that'd be the funniest to get just because of the beef that we've had with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Steve. Yeah, but you guys lost your best player. Anyways, let's get into either one. Alexander will cost more to get younger as well. Yeah, he'll cost more, and then you do have to worry about the injuries and stuff like that. But man, if you get him and he doesn't have some injury issue, then your secondary is going to be one of the best in that league probably. Anyways, let's get into the giveaway. Obviously, throw down our thoughts on all this stuff. JJ McCarthy's future, Kwesi, well-deserved in our opinion. Jerry Alexander, I'll take him. I'll be surprised, but I'll take him all day. Or Jalen Ramsey. I'll take any of them, to be honest. Easily the best. Easily the best. Not even close. There was not one player on that team that I was worried about besides him. I wouldn't have admitted that before.
But now that he's gone.
I'll admit it. I was a little worried about him. A little bit. But
especially if that safety was over the top.
Yeah. I would say McKinley, right? That's the safety?
Yeah. And then Edrin Cooper is pretty good too.
Oh, Edrin Cooper. Yeah,
Edrin Cooper is solid. Really good. Yeah.
I think I had a rookie card of him somewhere, Steve.
Yeah.
Somewhere I'd have to look. But I don't know. They don't really do nothing for me. I'm not that scared of them.
Hell yeah. So, all right, I suppose let's rock. First giveaway in 2 weeks. Feels like it's been longer than 2 weeks, doesn't it?
It does. Get those hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe for your chance to win a Vikings rookie card, JJ McCarthy, all that stuff. I have to look back. I don't know. For some reason, I think I might have forgot. Whoever won our very last show, I'll have to go back and check because I'm like, did I send that out? So I have to go recheck all that. But definitely
also, since it has been a couple weeks, we've had pretty consistently around 20 people watching. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us through the little 2-week hiatus. We're still going to plan on doing every other week till training camp kind of kicks in. But we do appreciate you guys showing up tonight and joining us for some Vikings talk.
Hey, what up, T-Bass?
We appreciate that a lot.
Facts. That's facts. Like there's so many times there is a lot of times where you see a player have like a down year to have a good year the next year too.
I've noticed it a lot.
I think 2 bad years is bad. Yeah.
I've noticed it a lot with like bullpen pitchers in baseball. Like they'll have a really phenomenal season one year and the next year they come back and they just suck.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed that's kind of how they do it. It's weird, but
That is
All right.
weird. I did notice that too. Oh, what the heck? I don't have my giveaway page. Okay.
We got to restart.
No, I have that up. Let me bring it up. No, my overlay. Boom. Go over here. All right, we got 20 entries. How many people we got? 24 people. If anyone else wants to join for your chance to win a Vikings rookie card, JJ McCarthy's, Dallas Turner's, Will the Thrill record, which I still don't think anyone's taken yet. Get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. Jamie, you owe me 2 cards yet. Jamie, you owe me. Have you not got Bleeding? You haven't got any yet? There is the one that you didn't receive. I did send you another one. Welcome in, by the way, Bleeding. Jamie, you owe me 2. Did you win the very last show? Oh, no. I got you, Bleeding. I got you. Lost me with. Get them hashtag Skols in. All right, we're going to start grabbing some names here. 21 entries. Each one, I haven't received any yet. Yes, I won the last show. Okay. Weird. I think because you hit me up because one got lost in the mail and then I resent one, I believe. I got you anyways. I'll make sure the next ones make it to you, dude. For sure. Jen, by the way, makes it to the duck race. Jen, Jen is still in here. All right, keeping it rolling. Either way, man, Bleeding Purple. I won 2 in a row. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I did. I don't know. I've been gone for 2 weeks. I've been thrown off. AB Chaz. AB. Austin, you got to be in here. I know you're in here. Either way, Bleeding, I got you.
All right, there's 2.
All right, keeping it rolling. The heck, my thing's being slow. Who we got next? And it is Sali the Viking. Sali, are you here? Here, let me put a couple names in here real quick. All right, gonna keep rolling. Hey, what's going on, Eric? Oh, of course, dude. Yeah, no problem. I'll make sure. Absolutely. Two-Tone, you haven't got yours either? I'll look into it. Either way, I got cards coming for you.
Jamie's forgetting about them.
Well, there's definitely a solid chance that they can get lost in the mail. It's not definitely unheard of. It happens. Gary, your name's in there.
So everybody, mine either. Yeah, right, people. Come on.
Yeah, I know everybody.
Come on now.
Mine either. Bob, you did too. I resent yours. All right, keep it on going. I don't know if did we get Sully in here? Kinetic
may be gone. I know he had to go do his show.
Okay. Oh, I missed that. All right, let's keep on rolling here, though. I think we lost Sully.
Keep an eye on him.
So we got Jen and AB Chaz.
Two-toned.
Nah. George, is that true? Two-toned. Could get another one.
Two-tone super chatted twice. It doesn't matter. He's in.
That's a lies. I mean, maybe it's possible, but that means something's wrong with my post office around here. Two-toned. Keeping on rolling here. Is that actually true, George? So I don't think I have any more. Bob Sweet, are you still in here? You probably are. I don't have any more Hitman left. I don't think. Maybe I do. I'll have to look. All right, we got one more. But yeah, for real though, anybody actually did not get their cards, you should email me and let me know, because there is possibility for them to get lost. So
And if we
Eric,
and if we find out you're lying, oh boy,
I don't know how to do that, but no, man, never. Okay, throw me off. But no, for real, anybody that didn't, just let me know. Obviously, I have a bunch of cards. Easily let you know. Gary, your name had to be in there. It doesn't show your name every time unless they think you've won too many. They think you just won too many times. Maybe that's it. All right, let me bring this up. But no, it doesn't. On these little giveaways, your name doesn't have to show up, which is something we did figure out. 45 seconds. We got the names: Jen, AB Chaz, Two Tone, Swede, and Eric LaPointer.
Scott Steiner arms, I wish.
So look how Scott Steiner. That was a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on like some roid shit though. I don't do that. Just pure unadulterated lifting in the basement with 25-pound dumbbells.
Hey, he had the Stacy Keibler storyline, so doesn't get much better than that.
Hell yeah.
All right. We're going 9 for the future GOAT of the NFL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. I mean, this will do.
A little different. Why not?
Yeah. You and familiar some goods, Jamie. Hey, appreciate that. You can do that. Sorry to you. Yeah. Okay. I got you, Two Toned. I got you. I'll make sure to figure it out. All right. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yeah. Let me know.
Glass Duck wins.
AB has in the lead, which I know he knows. Oh, he's backed up a little bit. I mean, everybody's neck and neck. There's not one obvious person here who's like in front. You don't think that they're going to pull back.
Oh. Who's going to get the bounce? Two Toned, I'm sorry. You're in the lead way too early here, my man.
We'll see what happens. We got
Swede
Swede
again.
Swede. Well,
go Swede. All right.
And it's Swede again. Swede, what did you get? Do you remember what you got last time? What do you want? I think you got a Dallas Turner last time, right? Duck. Bob, Swede, what were we thinking? I know. I think so. I know. Because I sent you Dallas Turner, I believe. What else are we thinking? Which I did send it, but it must not have made it. He's thought those were ducks because they're out right now. That happens to me all the time. JJ Otto, we do have one. I never got. I'll get you. I'll make sure you get that Dallas Turner on top of it. Other Dallas Turners, JJ McCarthy's.
Can someone break the seal and take a Will Reichard card, please? Someone take it.
This JJ McCarthy. That's like JJ McCarthy with like / Michigan. Obviously more JJ McCarthy. This is kind of a cool Will Reichard. We got the pink Dallas Turner. This is a cool JJ McCarthy, the Don Russ Gridiron Kings. Yeah, don't forget about Skol Fest. September.
Hey, Swede's breaking it. Let's go.
I'll take a Will the Thrill. Okay, I'm going to give you the best Will the Thrill that I have in here.
Someone had to break the streak. He's going to be just fine, I promise.
I mean, Bob Swede, he's won so many times. He's already probably have like 3 JJ McCarthys already. Yeah, I'll find you my best Will Reichard and send it your way with the Dallas Turner. And then who else? Two Tone, I got you, and then purple to send one to Gary. I got $5 to send one to Gary. I can send one to Gary. Gary. What do you want, Gary? Gary also has like everyone.
He said he said I was going to take the Will card if you
he does. Oh, okay. All right. I got a Will Reichard coming to Gary as well. Will Reichard coming to Gary. All right. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I'll email. Yeah. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah,
All
definitely. Right. If anytime you don't get your card, do not be afraid to ask. I don't care if you do it in the comments. I mean, I'm sending them 100%, but if you can email me, I'd appreciate that. Probably a little bit more, but hey, you guys win these things. I'm definitely gonna live up to them. Sometimes they do get lost in the mail, and then I'll have no idea if that happens. So, yeah, definitely let me know if anything like that happens. But
yeah. Anything else before we sign off here?
Just again, man, mini camp, mandatory mini camp this week. Get to see more JJ McCarthy. Kind of things seem to take a little bit more, take that a little bit more serious. And then it's the real break. It's the real break where after that, there's really nothing until training camp. And like Casey said, we're going to be going every other week until training camp kind of gets started here. So we will not be here next Monday, but we will be here the Monday after that. And we're kind of continuing this spotlight thing like we did with the wide receivers. We'll do running backs next, and then kind of give whatever news is going on, kind of tap in on that too.
Yeah,
pretty much what we're doing.
I appreciate that, George, but you don't need to worry about that. I don't have any kids. You send what you got to do to Jamie. I'm fine.
No, you can send him something. You can send him a little something.
It's all good. No worries about that. But anyway, anything else you got?
Two-Tone, is your birthday today? Oh, the 13th.
Well, happy birthday,
the 13th. The 13th.
Oh, 13th is your birthday.
Well, shoot, I might as well just send you something else too.
Hell yeah. But all right. Well, anyway, we're stalling too much at the end here. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us, joining us after a little 2-week hiatus. We will be back 2 weeks from tonight. Make sure to join us there. We're also still on Bleacher Report every Wednesday. So if you want to see more of us, you can catch us there as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Have a great rest of your week. See you in a couple.
Skol Vikes.